Hello everyone, this is part 16 of What If Naruto Was the Hollow God, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Sasuke was given two tasks by Naruto. One was to spy on Tobi and find out what he really plans to do with the tailed beasts, and what he wants Kabuto and Orochimaru to do for him. The other is to find out where Nagato and Konan are, and then to inform him, as he is interested in meeting them to see in person what kind of people they are, and if he finds them acceptable, offer them to join him in the new whirlpool. Sasuke thought about what to do first, and in the end, decided to watch over Tobi, as she knows that he will eventually go after Nagato and Konan. If she was to go after Nagato and Konan first, then she might miss something important that Tobi might say or do, and she doesn't want that. As such, for weeks, Sasuke was following Tobi wherever he went. It was not easy, as he has a very troublesome space-time ninjutsu, but she can read his chakra very well, and follow him with Garganta. The first thing she learned by spying on Tobi, is that he has transplanted Itachi's eyes into Sasuke, thus, allowing Sasuke to awaken M's, making him more powerful. Then, she heard Tobi explain to Sasuke, how Itachi killed the Uchiha clan because they were planning coup against the Leaf Village, and Itachi was ordered by the village elders and the Hokage to kill his family to prevent the civil war. Itachi accepted, as he loved the village, more than he loved his clan. His only condition was for Sasuke to remain alive, and taken care of by the village. Apparently, Itachi loved his brother too much to just kill him. Sasuke was expecting Sasuke to be angry for chasing after Itachi all these years, thinking that he has killed their clan because he was power-hungry, but she was very surprised when in fact, Sasuke was angry because Itachi chose the village instead of his own clan. He thought that the Uchiha clan was above all the others, and should have been ruling the Leaf Village, and no one should have been in their way. According to Sasuke, Itachi should have chosen the clan, and helped them take over the village, and not chose the village instead. Sasuke also thought that Itachi was pathetic, and he even said that he is happy that Itachi is dead, as he has gained his eyes because of that, and now has M's. He even admitted that his chase after Itachi all this time, wasn't just to avenge his clan, but also because he wanted Itachi's eyes to gain M's. Sasuke was shocked by everything Sasuke said. She couldn't believe that someone can be so evil, but then again, this is the same guy who killed two of his teammates and caused his brother's death, just so he can gain more power. In Sasuke's eyes, Sasuke is pure evil, and should be put down in a most painful way possible, so that he can suffer before his death. Even Tobi was surprised by everything he heard from Sasuke. He realized that as bad as he is, he can't hold a candle to how evil Sasuke is, and unlike Sasuke, Tobi's goal is actually noble, in his eyes at least. In the end, Tobi told Sasuke that as payment for giving him M's, Sasuke has to join the Akatsuki, and pay off the debt. Sasuke scowled at this, but in the end, he agreed. He did say that as soon as he finishes his job, he will be leaving the Akatsuki, and go after the Leaf Village. He plans to kill Danzo and the elders, before he takes over and becomes the Hokage, after which, he will make the Uchiha clan the royal clan of Konoha, and do with the village and its inhabitants whatever he wishes. Sasuke wanted to kill Sasuke right then and there, and rid the world of his evil, but she couldn't do that, as that would mean she has to expose herself, and that isn't what Naruto wants, at least not yet. So, Sasuke stayed hidden and listened as Tobi explained to Sasuke that he is sending him after the Eight Tails Jinchuriki and Kumo, and that he will be also sending Kisame to be a backup in case Sasuke needs it. Of course, Sasuke scowled at that, and said how he won't need any backup, as now he has M's, and is invincible. Tobi of course, knew that that was not true, as even Madara, who was infinitely stronger than Sasuke, was defeated by Hashirama Senju, even though Madara had M's as well, and controlled it much better than Sasuke can. Tobi didn't say that to Sasuke, though. He knew that it is pointless, as Sasuke wouldn't be listening to anything he says that goes against what he believes in. Sasuke believes that he is the strongest and invincible, and no one will be able to dissuade him of that, unless they beat his ass into the ground. XXX. The next thing that Sasuke learned, is that Sasuke and Kisame were able to complete their mission, though Sasuke did need help in the end, as he couldn't beat the Eight Tails Jinchuriki without Kisame's help. When she first learned that Sasuke and Kisame have been sent to capture the last remaining Jinchuriki, Sako thought to go and save him, but in the end, she didn't do it, as the Eight-Tails Jinchuriki was one of those who knew that Cloud Village has sold out Yugito to save him, and he didn't do anything to prevent that. As such, she didn't feel the need to risk her exposure to the Akatsuki, just so that she can save him. As such, Killer B had his tailed beast extracted by the remaining Akatsuki, thus, he died, and his corpse was thrown somewhere by Zetsu. With B captured and his tailed beast extracted, Sasuke has repaid his debt to the Akatsuki and then left the organization. He then said how he will build his own team, and then go after the Leaf Village. As for the Akatsuki, with the Eight-Tails capture, the only one left was Nine-Tails, but considering the fact that it will not reappear anytime soon, they had to make new plans. Thus, Kabuto and Orochimaru were needed, or at least one of them. XXX. Sako was currently in a meeting with Tobi, Zetsu and Kisame. The four of them are the only remaining members of the Akatsuki left, and as such, Tobi has decided to inform Kisame and Sako of some of his plans and to tell them the reason he needs Kabuto and Orochimaru. As you know, Tobi spoke. With the Nine-Tails gone, we need to find another way to get its chakra, or at least some of it, as getting all of it would be impossible. There are two ways to do that. One is to simply wait for a long time, until Nine-Tails reemerges, and then capture it, before we seal it into the Gedo statue. That is simply going to take a long time, and I don't want to wait until it happens. The second way is the reason why we need Orochimaru, or Kabuto, if he is capable of performing the jutsu necessary to do it. Tobi then looked at the people in the group, and waited for their reactions. He was mostly looking at Kisame and Sako, as Zetsu knew of the plan. He saw that Kisame doesn't really look all that interested, but was still listening, while Sako had her eyebrows raised. Tobi, even after all the time Sako has been in the Akatsuki, still didn't trust her, and he still doesn't know why. He has done everything he could to find out why he doesn't trust her that much, and why he is weary of her, but so far he hasn't found anything. As such, he decided that he might be paranoid, so he decided to tell her some of his plans and then wait and see how she will react and what she will do. So far, she only looks interested, but nothing else. So, he continued. The second Hokage has created a jutsu that allows a user to revive people, Tobi said, and he was not surprised when he saw Sako's and Kisame's eyes widen. They have heard of that jutsu and know what it does. Orochimaru was able to get his hands on that jutsu, and learned how to use it. He used it over 3 years ago during the invasion on Konoha, and revived the first and second Hokage. He tried to revive the fourth as well, but that one failed because the fourth Hokage's soul has been taken by the Shinigami because he used the Reaper Death Seal to split Nine-Tails into 2 halves. The third Hokage used the Reaper Death Seal as well during the invasion, and as such, the souls of the first 4 Hokage are now inside of the Shinigami's stomach, and should be inaccessible to anyone. But, there are many other people who have died over the years, and Orochimaru can bring them back with that jutsu. Then, there is a fact that, after he failed to revive the fourth Hokage, Orochimaru researched a way to remove the souls from Shinigami's stomach, and after a while, he was successful. So as you see, it's because of Orochimaru's knowledge of that jutsu, that I wanted him here alive. Now, I don't know if Kabuto has learned how to perform that jutsu as well, which is why we are going to find out, and if Kabuto can perform the jutsu, then I will kill Orochimaru, because quite frankly, I don't like him, and he has pretty much snapped, so he might as well be useless. And what will you do if Kabuto can't perform the jutsu? Sako decided to ask. She didn't like what she was hearing, and she knew that she will need to inform Naruto as soon as possible, but she wanted to get as much information as possible before she does it. And what exactly do you plan to do with an army of revived people? Also, I don't see how this will help you get Nine-Tails chakra. Tobi looked at Sako with narrowed eyes. He was expecting those questions, but he thought it would be Kisame who asked them. When they are asked by Sako, it made him very suspicious of her reason of asking. If Kabuto can't perform it, then we are in trouble, because I doubt Orochimaru would be able to because of his condition, Tobi admitted, much to the surprise of the other 3 people. The thing about this jutsu, is that those revived, are revived with all the powers they had at the time they died. There are 2 people from the Cloud Village, called Gold and Silver Brothers. Those 2 have had a large amount of Nine-Tails chakra, which means that if they are revived, we can feed them to the Gedo statue, and the statue would gain Nine-Tails chakra. It would be much, but would still be enough. Then, there is also the fact that, when fourth Hokage sealed Nine Tails, he only sealed half of it inside Naruto, while the other half was inside himself. This was a shock to Kisame and Sako. Which means, that if fourth was revived, and then fed to the statue would have over half of Nine Tails chakra, which will be more than enough for it to rise. Rise? Kisame said, with raised eyebrows. What do you mean? Tobi smirked, and then told the story of the 10 tails and the Sage of the 6 Paths. He said how the sage split 10 tails and created the tailed beasts everyone knew. He also said that the Gedo statue is the body of the 10 tails, and that once the chakra of all 9 tailed beasts is put inside, the 10 tails will rise, though depending on how much chakra of all tailed beasts is put, 10 tails might not be in its complete form, which is why they need as much chakra as possible from 9 tails. Once he finished, Tobi looked at Sako and Kisame, and noticed that Sako was looking at him with narrowed eyes, which, quite frankly, scared the shit out of him, not that he will admit that. Kisame, though, was looking at him with eyes wide in disbelief. What do you plan to do with the 10 tails? Sako asked. I plan to make myself the 10 tails Jinchuriki, Tobi said. Once I become that, I will be on the same level as the Sage of the 6 Paths, and then, I will be able to achieve my dream of true peace. Sako didn't like this. She didn't like it at all, and was thinking to just kill Tobi right then and there, and be done with it. She couldn't believe the guy, and what he is planning to do. It was ridiculous. He basically plans to become the most powerful being in the world and then pretty much rule with an iron fist. Then, she remembered that Naruto likes a good fight, and that ever since he came to this world, he wasn't able to find someone who can give it to him, unless you count the Great Red. She knew right then and there, that once Naruto learns of Tobi's plan, he will let him go through with it, just so he can battle him and see how powerful the 10 tails Jinchuriki is. She inwardly groaned. And how does a mass army of dead people come into play in this plan of yours? Sako asked. If you need gold and silver brothers and the fourth Hokage, because they have 9 tails chakra, then why do you need more walking corpses? They will be out army in case we need to wage war against all the N, Tobi said. Why train ninja and send them to battle where they can potentially die, when we can use the army of the undead? If Sako didn't know any better, she would have thought that Tobi is actually a nice person, trying to save others' lives, but as she knew better, she didn't believe him one bit. She knew that he doesn't care about the people who would die. If he did, he wouldn't have raised the army of the undead and planned to revive 10 tails. For all she knew, the 10 tails couldn't be subdued, and it would go on a rampage. Well, I'm in. Sako's thoughts were interrupted by Kisame. She looked at him, and saw his smiling face. It might make this boring world a little better, and if your plan works, it would start an even greater war than the one we are in, and where I can fight as much as I want. Sako couldn't believe this guy. He is willing to risk the entire humanity, just so he can fight. Right then and there, she promised herself that when the time comes, she will kill Kisame in a very painful way. Seeing that Kisame has agreed, the others looked at Sako. She thought for a while. She really wanted to kill them all right then and there, but Naruto would want to battle the 10-tailed Jinchuriki, which, now that she thinks about it, shouldn't make him any better than Kisame, as he is also willing to risk lives to satisfy his thirst for battle. Then again, Naruto can stop the bloodshed before it gets too far, as he is powerful enough, while Kisame is not strong enough to do that, and in case the war starts and people start dropping like flies, Kisame wouldn't be able to save anyone, even if he wanted to. Fine, Sako said. I'm in, but I do hope you know what you are doing. There won't be coming back if something goes wrong. Tobi glanced at Sako for a few moments, before he looked away. I know perfectly well what I'm doing and what to expect. Sako said nothing. What do you plan to do now? White Zetsu asked. I'll go after Nagato and Konan, Tobi said. I need the Rinnegan to summon the Gedo statue and to control it. Besides, I can't allow them to live, as they might try to ruin my plans. They might not know the true plan, but they know enough to be a threat. What do you want us to do while you are away? Kisame asked. Nothing really, Tobi shrugged. Until I get Rinnegan, we can't continue the plan, but, you can try and question Kabuto about his knowledge of the reanimation jutsu. If he knows it, then get him out of that cell, and get him to work. Leave Orochimaru behind. I'll kill him once I'm back. With that said, Tobi disappeared using Kamui, leaving the others behind. Zetsu and Kisame looked at each other, before Kisame said, "Well, we might as well get to work." "I agree," Black Zetsu said. The two of them then looked at where Sako was standing, only to see no one there. "Where did she go?" Kisame asked, while looking around. "I don't know," Black Zetsu said with narrowed eye. "That woman makes me feel uneasy. I don't trust her," White added. "I don't trust her either," Kisame said. "But Tobi allowed her to stay, so he must have some reason." "He doesn't trust her either," Black Zetsu said. "And he is unnerved by her as well, just like us. He probably let her stay, as he didn't find anything compromising about her, and there is no real reason to distrust her," Kisame said. "Probably," Black Zetsu said, before he walked to Orochimaru's and Kabuto's cell, so that he can start the interrogation. XXX. Sako has followed after Tobi, and was able to catch up to him in the tallest tower in the Rain Village, where Tobi found Nagato and Konan. Sako has truly thought that after it became apparent that they wouldn't return to the Akatsuki, Nagato and Konan would run off to somewhere where it would be very hard to find them, but it seems that the two have decided to stay in the Rain Village, and from what she has heard in their conversation with Tobi, they stayed to protect their homeland. Sako could respect that, but she knew that Nagato was of no use without his bodies, as he is incapacitated, while Konan might not be able to take on Tobi. Of course, Sako didn't know how powerful Konan and especially Tobi truly are, but she guessed she was to see very soon, because of how the conversation was going. It seems that Tobi was after the Rinnegan, and while Nagato cannot defend himself, Konan can fight. Thus, the battle between Tobi and Konan started. It will be a battle which will bring many changes to the Rain Country, if there is anything left of the Rain Village once the battle is finished. For weeks, Kakashi and Yamato have been searching for Sasuke. They've gone all over the country surrounding the Fire Country, and have come up with nothing in the end. Then again, they did spend a lot of time training themselves, as they wanted to be sure that they will be able to catch Sasuke once they do find him, so it's not like they've searched day and night. The training, though, has paid itself, somewhat. Kakashi and Yamato are stronger than they were, and were sure that with the current skills, they will be able to catch Sasuke if they find him, and he, for some reason, decides to fight back. During the training, the two didn't bother to learn new jutsu, as they know a lot of those. Their problem is the stamina and small chakra reserves, and that's where Sasuke would have them beaten, along with his Sharingan. So, Kakashi and Yamato focused on increasing their chakra reserves and stamina. They figured that, if they bring their chakra level on the same level as Sasuke, then they would have him beaten, as they have more experience. Once they thought that they are at the suitable level, they focused more on searching instead of training. This has paid off in the end, because 3 days later, Kakashi and Yamato run into Sasuke along with 3 other people at the border of Fire Country and Rain Country. The people who were with Sasuke were 2 men and 1 woman. The older of the 2 men is in his early 40s, and is a very tall and muscular man with slicked back green hair who wears a pink suit and pants. He is adorned with lots of jewelry, the most prominent being a clip-on chain with a star on the end of his right shoulder, as well as star-shaped earrings and a ring on every finger except his left ring finger. He wears a pair of sunglasses with wings by the lenses which he keeps on his head. His name is Guild Tesoro. The second man is in his early 20s, and he is a tall, muscular man with light skin and bright red hair, resembling flames. His nose has a particular shape, being quite pointed and having little protrusions on both sides. He has dark reddish-purple colored lips and fingernails, red, orange eyes and no eyebrows. He also has a large scar that drags from the left side of his forehead, goes down his neck and another smaller one that goes through his left eye. There are 2 parallel scars on his lower right arm also. His left arm is cut to just above the elbow, but he seems to have replaced it with a mechanical one. His attire consists of his trademark spotted pants, a black open vest, held down by a belted war kilt. He also has a long dark red coat, worn over his shoulders. His name is Eustace Kid. And finally, the last person is a female. She is very beautiful, and has long, white hair that is bound between orange rods into a ponytail at the back, which fades into aqua green and then blue the further down it goes, and ends in rectangular locks. She also has large, orange eyes with prominent eyelashes, wears gold hoop earrings on both ears. Her outfit is a sleeveless white garment with a diamond-shaped design on both sides and an indigo, wisp patterned bottom half. She wears a pair of red hakama pants and sandals, and wears a large purple and white Neo Daisuke behind her back. For a weapon, she carries a kanabo as long as her body. Her name is surprisingly, Yamato. Kakashi and Yamato were surprised to see these three people, as they have never seen anyone like them, and wonder who they are, and why they are with Sasuke. Sasuke, Kakashi spoke. What's going on? How did you escape from the Akatsuki, and who are these three people? Sasuke smirked. I didn't escape, Kakashi, Sasuke said, getting wide-eyed look from Kakashi and Yamato, male Yamato. I joined them for a while, as a payment for transplanting Itachi's eyes into me, and allowing me to gain M's. After I paid back with the job I did, I left. Kakashi was surprised by what Sasuke said, but was glad that Sasuke has left the Akatsuki and didn't stay with them. He shuddered thinking of what Danzo would do if that happened. Okay, Kakashi said. Then are you on the way back to the village? He asked. And who are those three? Sasuke smirked again, and Kakashi suddenly had a very bad feeling. Sasuke then went and told Kakashi and Yamato what Tobi told him. About how the Uchiha clan were planning a coup, and how Itachi was ordered by the Hokage and the village elders to kill his own clan and stop the civil war. Kakashi and Yamato were shocked to hear this. They couldn't believe that Itachi Uchiha, a person who is considered to be one of the greatest betrayers in the history of the Leaf Village, actually loved the village so much that he would kill his entire clan in a single night just to prevent a coup. You might think that after I found that out, I would start sympathizing with Itachi, Sasuke said. That I would believe in the same things he did. That I love the village as much as he did and that I would do anything to protect it. But you are wrong. I wouldn't put the village and its people above the Uchiha clan. There is no one above the Uchiha clan. We should rule the Leaf and all the other villages and the nations. It's our right as the strongest clan in the N. While Sasuke was on a roll with his mouth, Kakashi and Yamato were in disbelief at what they are hearing. They can't believe that one of their village's ninja is like this. They can't believe that Sasuke, who was given everything he ever wanted, believed that the Uchiha clan should rule everything. So as you see, Kakashi, Sasuke spoke again. I am going back to the Leaf Village. But not to rejoin as one of the ninja, but to kill Danzo and the elders for what they've done to my family, and to take over the village. I will become the Hokage, and will rule the village as I see fit. One day, when I revive the Uchiha clan, then we will be the royal family of the Leaf. In time, I will even take over the rest of the N and become an emperor. What do you think of that? Kakashi. Sasuke, Kakashi stuttered. The villages have given you everything you wanted ever since your clan's destruction. You can't really try and rule over them. Sasuke lost his smirk and growled. The village has taken my family from me. Danzo, the third Hokage, the elders. They all ordered the destruction of my clan just because they wanted to take what's theirs. As such, I see the current Leaf Village as an enemy, so I will kill all those responsible for my clan's death, and then rule over what's left. If there is nothing left, well then, I'll just build a new village. Kakashi was in trouble, and he knew it. On one hand, Sasuke was his favorite student and he has done everything for him ever since Sasuke became a member of his team. He even stood at his side against the other members of his team, and allowed him to kill Sakura to gain Muz. He has done all of this because he believed that the Leaf Village needs the Uchiha clan, and in case something happens to Sasuke, the clan would be lost. The other reason he was on Sasuke's side in everything, is because his own teammate, Obito, was an Uchiha, who saved Kakashi's life, and even given him Sharingan as a gift. As such, Kakashi felt that by helping Sasuke, he is repaying Obito. On the other hand, Sasuke is now against the Leaf Village, his own village, and Kakashi can't just stand at the side and let him go there. Regardless if Sasuke and his three companions are strong enough to take over the village and kill the Hokage, many would die in the battle, and the village would be ruined to the point of no return. Hey Sasuke, the man with the green hair spoke. Who are these guys? That's Kakashi Hatake, also known as the Copy Ninja, Sasuke said. And the other is called Yamato. Sasuke here looked at his female companion, who rose her eyebrows, or, at least that's the code name he was given by the Hokage. I don't know his real name. And what do they want? Kid asked. They want to return me to the Leaf, Sasuke said. Unfortunately for them, I'm already heading there, and they don't seem happy with what I'm going to do once I get there. Well then, let's get rid of them and then head to the Leaf, Kid said. I want to battle someone as it's been a while. I guess you can battle these two, Sasuke shrugged. It will allow me to see how you battle, and your skill level. Hell yeah, Guild shouted. I've been waiting for this for a while. It would seem that both Kid and Guild are battle maniacs, and can't wait to battle. Kakashi and Yamato tensed, as they knew that they are about to enter into a battle against an unknown ninja, who might be more than they can handle, especially, since they are outnumbered 2-1, if you count Sasuke. While Guild and Kid were ready to battle, Yamato decided to watch, as she is not battle maniac like the other two, nor she has a grudge against Kakashi, her namesake, or the Leaf Village. The only reason she even joined Sasuke, is because she is chased by someone powerful, and she thought that if she becomes a part of a group, she will have protection. Sasuke, Kid and Guild are all powerful, and with them, she will have much greater chances of survival, than if she was to stay alone. XXX. What none of them knew, is that they were not alone, and that someone was watching and listening them. That someone, is Naruto Uzumaki. The reason Naruto is there, is pure coincidence. He grew bored in the new whirlpool, and decided to travel around the end for a while, and see how the things are and if there is something interesting for him. Lately, he's been thinking a lot about Sako, and how she hasn't brought any news about Tobi and his plan, nor about Nagato and Konan. It made him wonder what is taking her that long, as she definitely has skill to acquire any information. He was thinking of going to the Rain Village, and see what's going on there, but in the end, decided to trust Sako, and let her do her stuff. For the last few days, he was going around the Fire Country, and searching for anything interesting and fun. He checked out his gambling houses and saw that the job is going well, so he went to see what else he can find. Maybe he was lucky, he could find someone else who can join his new village and increase the power of his forces, not that he really needs to increase their power, as his village is already the most powerful in the EN, even though it's still not fully built. Imagine his surprise, when he suddenly found himself watching the confrontation between Kakashi and one other Leaf Ninja, against Sasuke, and his 3 companions. When he saw the new faces, Naruto was instantly interested in all of them. He wanted to see what they can do, and if any of them has something interesting about them, then he might ask them to join him. Then again, if they prove to be strong but bad people, like Sasuke for example, then he can simply suck out their soul and gain their memories and powers. He would be happy with that as well. Naruto looked at Sasuke's companions, and could tell that they are all very powerful. In fact, they might be more powerful than Sasuke, which makes him wonder why they are following him in the first place. Out of the 3 of them, Naruto finds the girl most interested. Then again, he is a guy, and is weak against beautiful women, and Yamato is really beautiful. As for the other 2, Naruto can tell that they are battle maniacs because of their acting and what they were saying. While Naruto has nothing against battle maniacs, as he is one, in a way, he doesn't like those guys for some reason. So, Naruto simply stayed on top of a large tree, and watched the battle between Kakashi and Yamato on one side, against Kid and Guild, on the other. XXX. Sako's clone arrived in the new whirlpool, and was standing in front of the door of Cielaporo's office. She went and knocked, before a moment later, she heard, "Enter," so, she did just that. The moment she entered into the room and Cielaporo saw her, he raised his eyebrows. "You sure took you time in getting here," he said. "What took you so long?" "It took me a while to get all information on what Tobi is planning," Sako said. "Then I had to wait for him to go after Nagato and Konan, as I wanted to wait for him to do that, and find out where they are, before I come here. Since he went after them, today, the real me followed him, and then created me and sent me here to inform Naruto of everything." "So you are a shadow clone?" Cielaporo questioned and Sako nodded. "Okay, then let's hear what you have to say. Naruto is not here, and who knows when he will be back." "Where did he go?" Sako asked. "I don't know," Cielaporo said. "He grew bored a while ago, and decided to travel around for a little while." Sako sighed. She was really hoping to see Naruto, but she was out of luck. She sighed again, and then went and told Cielaporo everything of Tobi's plan for the tailed beasts, and for Orochimaru and Kabuto. She also said Tobi's true goal, and that she believes that he is insane because only an insane person would try and pull something like that. Once Sako finished, Cielaporo sighed, and rubbed his temples. "We should have just gotten rid of the Akatsuki a while ago," he said. "This plan of Tobi's might cause more trouble than it's worth." "I agree," Sako said. "But it's Naruto who makes decisions, and he wishes to fight strong opponents. As such, we have to wait and see what he will say." Cielaporo sighed. What does your original plan to do? He asked Sako. Well, she wanted to just kill Tobi and the others, including Sasuke, and be done with it. But she realized that Naruto would probably want to battle Ten-tailed Jinchuriki, and he wants to have a go at Sasuke, along with Sakura, so she decided to leave them alone for now. She went and followed Tobi, who went after Nagato, and is currently there in the tallest tower in the Rain Country, probably watching the battle. She will expect the news from here, to see what to do, and should she interfere in any way. Fine, Sayelaporo said, and stood from his chair. Release yourself so that Sako will know that I'm coming there right now. Depending on the situation, I will decide what to do. Sako's shadow clone nodded, and then she disappeared in a puff of smoke. Sayelaporo walked out of the office, and went to find Tayuya, and inform her of where he is going, so that she can watch over everything. She is his right hand, right, so it's her job. XXX. Sako, the real one, was very surprised by how skilled Konan is. She has watched the battle between Konan and Tobi, which was going for a while now, and can say that Konan is very powerful and skilled. The same can be said for Tobi, though his skills mostly revolve around his space-time jutsu, which can make him intangible, which makes him very hard to hit, as the attacks are passing right through him. Sako watched as the battle went for a while, destroying everything in sight. At one point, Konan tried to push the battle away from the village, but Tobi knew what she was trying and didn't fall for it. Instead, he went and attacked buildings and innocent people, every time Konan tried to make a run out of the village, hoping that Tobi will follow her. There was a lot of collateral damage because of the battle, and because of Tobi's cowardly attacks, and many buildings were destroyed, while many people, ninja and civilians alike, were killed. One of those who have died is Nagato. His death was an unfortunate accident when the building he was in was hit by the explosion causing by the collision of Tobi's and Konan's attacks. The entire top part of the building, where Nagato was, exploded, and Sako has felt Nagato dying from the explosion. She isn't sure if there is anything left of him, though. Nagato's death has sent Konan in rage, which made her activate her most powerful jutsu, which started a continuous paper bombs explosion, which went for 10 minutes without stopping. 600 billion paper bombs have been detonated, and Sako was certain that no one, except Naruto, would be able to survive that attack. Sako was impressed, to say the least. Imagine her surprise, when the smoke cleared, Tobi was alive, and standing behind Konan, who was stabbed by a black rod through the back, and the tip coming from her front. Konan and Sako were both wide-eyed in disbelief at how Tobi managed to survive, as that technique was supposed to counter his Kamui, which has a 5-minute span, while Konan's jutsu lasted for 10 minutes. When Konan asked how he survived, Tobi said that he used a Zanagi, which is a technique the MS has, where the user can come back to life, in a way, but the Sharingan becomes useless after it was used. Sako listened to this, and is shocked by such technique, but also intrigued when she heard that Tobi was talking about himself as Madara Uchiha, and how he cheated death in his battle against Hashirama Senju. This made Sako realize that Tobi is really Madara Uchiha, and that somehow, he is still alive, and from the look of a part of his face which had a mask broken during the battle against Konan, he seems quite young. Sako wondered what has Madara done to himself to still be alive. Konan gave one last push, and tried to battle Tobi, but he was able to overpower her, and is not holding her by the throat in the air, using his left arm, as his right has been destroyed to just below the shoulder. Sako would have interfered, to stop at least Konan from dying, as she has already failed to save Nagato, but just 2 minutes ago, she received the memories of the shadow clone she sent to the new whirlpool and knows that Sayelaporo is coming. Then again, it shouldn't take him 2 minutes to come. It should take him few seconds at most. Just as she was about to interfere, and save Konan, her mission be damned, a pink and white blur flashed before his eyes, and in an instant, Tobi was hit so hard, he was sent flying through several buildings across the Rain village. Sako looked at who appeared, and saw Sayelaporo, standing midair, and holding Konan, bride style. She sighed in relief, as Konan is alive. Sako didn't really know Konan that much, but she knew that compared to most of the other Akatsuki members, she isn't all that bad, and actually wanted to make a difference in the world. Yes, she has tried to do it the wrong way, but she is a human, and humans tend to make wrong choices in life all the time. Fortunately for Konan, she has seen that Tobi's plan is not as it seemed to be, and has chosen to leave the Akatsuki along with Nagato. Tobi managed to get himself out from the rubble he was buried under, but he was in more pain than he was in his entire life. He has no idea what hit him, but it can't possibly be human, as the power behind the hit was above anything he thought normal. He looked at where Konan was, and saw she was being held by a pink-haired man, dressed in white clothing. Tobi was certain that he has never seen this guy, or anyone resembling him, which makes him wonder who he is, and why did he interfere in his battle against Konan. Tobi went closer, so that he can speak to the man, though he had a feeling that that is a bad move. Still, he was curious, and he needed to know who the new character is, and how much of a threat he will be. Who are you? Tobi asked. What do you want? Cielaporo smirked. My name is Cielaporo Granz, he replied. As for what I want, I simply couldn't let you hurt this beautiful lady anymore. Cielaporo said this with a big smirk on his face, while Konan, after barely hearing Cielaporo's words, passed out in exhaustion. But I'm also your worst nightmare. Cielaporo lost the smirk on his face in an instant and then growled, before he unleashed his power to the maximum, causing the destruction all around him. Naruto had to admit that, compared to the last time he saw him, Kakashi has gotten quite a bit stronger. He hasn't seen Yamato fight before, though, so he can't say anything about him, but the guy had a wood-style bloodline, which only the first Hokage had, so he is an interesting guy. Naruto watched the two of them fight against Guild and Kid, and had to say that he was impressed with all four fighters. On one side, Kakashi and Yamato. Naruto has known Kakashi for a long time, and knew how skilled he is. Kakashi has always had a wide variety of jutsu, but he lacked powerful chakra and stamina. But now, it would seem that he has worked on that, and he has increased his chakra reserves, at least a little, but enough to actually put up a fight against a guy like Guild, who, from what Naruto could see, has a very interesting bloodline, one which would have solved a lot of Naruto's problems from when he first started to build his village. Yamato, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be as skilled as Kakashi, but has a very powerful bloodline, and he knows how to use it, though he will never be on the first Hokage's level. Then, there are their opponents. Guild Tesoro. A guy with an apparent bloodline which made Naruto very interested in Guild, and he decided from the moment he saw Guild first use it, that he will have that power on his side, regardless if he has to ask Guild to join him, or to suck out his soul and gain the bloodline. The name of the bloodline is Gold Release, and from what Naruto managed to overhear from Guild, it's a semi-advanced form of the Earth Release. It's a semi-advanced and not fully advanced, because the fully advanced form of the Earth Manipulation is Metal Manipulation, but of all the metals, Guild can only create and manipulate gold. Metal Manipulation is the equivalent of Teia's Thunder Release, and Juvia Flood Release. Technically, it's not a bloodline, as it could be achieved by anyone who gets their Earth Manipulation to a high enough level, but members of Guild's clan have higher chance of achieving it than anyone else, as they have always had high affinity toward Earth Manipulation, even higher than the other people in the Earth country. Naruto wasn't sure what affinity he has, and how high they are, but he assumes that if he sucks out Guild's soul, he will gain high affinity towards Earth, and with enough training, he can awaken Gold Release, if not Metal Release. Guild is a low S-rank missing ninja from the Earth country, and he is one of the rare few who have actually managed to start awakening the advanced form of Earth Manipulation. From what he said, he has only awakened Gold Manipulation, but if he continues to progress, then one day he might awaken the full Metal Manipulation, which would allow him control over all forms of metal in the world. Naruto knew how powerful Metal Manipulation could potentially be, even though he has never seen someone with that power. A person who can control all forms of metal, could potentially control iron in someone's blood, and by doing that, control their body, and even kill them in an instant. Just by thinking of that power, made Naruto's eyes shine in excitement. And then there is Eustace Kid. He is about as powerful as Guild, but unlike Guild who has partial bloodline, Kid has a true bloodline. His S bloodline, while powerful and with potential, is not that rare though. It's a magnet-style bloodline, allowing him the control over all of magnetic forces as well as control of everything metal. Naruto watched as Kid has put his powers to good use, as he has made weaponry useless against him, as all kunai, shuriken and most other weapons, are made from metal, and with his magnetic manipulation, he can control them and turn them against their users. Kid was fighting against Yamato, who is using his wood style, to hold Kid back. It was obvious that Kid is stronger, but Yamato is not backing down, even when Kid started really using his powers, by pulling iron from the ground and shaping it into many different objects to battle against Yamato. Kid was even using the gold from Guild and shaping it to suit his needs. As gold is metal, he didn't have a problem with manipulating it, even though he can't actually create it like Guild can. With their powers being so complementary, Kid and Guild are very good match with each other, and can battle together against almost anyone. The battle went for a while, which really surprised Naruto. It seems that Kakashi and Yamato have really worked on their chakra levels and stamina, because Kakashi that Naruto knew, would have been defeated a while ago. He doesn't know Yamato, but Naruto doubted that he was better than Kakashi, so him fighting this long, is a miracle in Naruto's eyes. As the battle was going on, though it would seem that it was coming close to the end, Naruto suddenly felt something very powerful coming toward them all. He could tell that it's not as powerful as he is, not even close, but definitely more powerful than anyone else he has met since he returned to the EN, not counting the Great Red. The fact that there is someone like that in the EN, the Great Red isn't counting, made Naruto's blood boil inexistent, as he couldn't wait to see who it is and to battle them. While the four ninja were battling, none of them noticed that there is someone coming toward them. The one who did notice is Yamato, female, and her eyes widened in fear, and she started sweating. This, of course, didn't slip past Naruto, who saw it and narrowed his eyes at her. It would seem that she knew who is was that's coming and is afraid of them. Suddenly, there was a roar so powerful that the ground and the air shook. It was not only powerful, but it was bone-chilling, and in an instant, the battle stopped, and everyone looked around, wide-eyed, at what could have caused that roar and the quake. There was no need to wait for long, before the sun was eclipsed by something very big and very long. At the closer look, Naruto recognized it as a dragon, before he narrowed his eyes and looked at Yamato, who has fallen on her knees. She was scared out of her mind at the sight of a dragon. The dragon was very long, with blue scales, and it seems to have been able to generate some kind of clouds, which it uses to stand on, as it doesn't have wings, so he can't fly. Yamato, the voice of a dragon growled, making everyone look at both Yamatos, not knowing who the dragon was talking about. The male Yamato, though, knew that it most definitely is not him, while the female knew that it was definitely her that Big Blue Dragon was calling. Did you really think you can run away from me, Yamato? The dragon asked, and since he was looking at the female Yamato, everyone there figured out which Yamato the dragon is after. Kaido, Yamato stuttered in shock, giving everyone the name of a dragon. Not that his name is important at that moment. The important thing is to find out who the dragon is, what exactly he is, why he is after Yamato, and what does he plan to do with her and everyone else. You cannot run from me, Yamato, dragon spoke. You never could and never will be able to run from me. I won't let you go away. Do you understand that? Yamato didn't really like what the dragon was telling her, judging by the fact that in that moment, the fear on her face was replaced with narrowed eyes and a scowl. I run away because I don't want to stay in that cesspool you call the Dragon Country, Yamato yelled. I want to be free and I will obtain my freedom, if it's the last thing I ever do. She was obviously ready to battle, if the look on her and the way she was holding her kanabo were any indication. Yamato, Sasuke yelled. Who the hell is that? What is that thing anyway? That, Yamato spoke, but paused for a few moments. That is my father. Everyone was shocked by that piece of information. They all wondered how a dragon can be a father to a human being. Even Naruto was surprised and wondered the same thing. It actually made him wonder, and unknown to him, few others, if Kaido is some kind of Jinchuriki of a dragon, like how Fuka used to be a Jinchuriki of a three-headed beast, before Naruto pulled it out of her. Then again, none of those there have ever even thought that there are beings like dragons in their world. Only Naruto knew about the dragon summons. Kakashi and Yamato most definitely didn't know. How can that be your father? Kid yelled. He's not even human. No, he's not, Yamato confirmed. He is a full dragon from Dragon Summoning Clan, but he left that land and created his own country, along with several other dragons who defected their original home. The thing is that all dragon summons can perform transformation technique, and can transform into a human form, which means that they can have intercourse with humans and have children with them. I'm not a regular human, I'm half human, half dragon. My mother was a human, while Kaido, my father, is a dragon. Everyone was shocked by the news, though none as much as Naruto. He didn't know that there are some deserters in the Dragon Clan, as the Great Red never mention it. He also didn't know that the dragons can transform into humans, and have children with human. Right then and there, Naruto decided to have a long talk with the Great Red as soon as possible, and find out if there are other things he doesn't know about the Dragon Clan, and to find out about them right away. Naruto doesn't like to not know things. That is for sure. Where is this place that he created? Sasuke asked, as he was interested in knowing. Maybe he can get Kaido on his side, to help him get rid of the Leaf Village, and then their nations could become allies. Sasuke highly overestimates himself, as he is an Uchiha, but he is not stupid. He will admit to himself that this thing in front of him is stronger than anything he has ever faced before, and he knows that even with Ems, he will not be able to win the battle. It's a country about the same size as Fire Country, which is located south of the N, Yamato said. After he left the summoning land, Kaido went west, until he found that land, and there he settled. The place was big but was uninhabited by anyone, so he and the others dragons settled there and have built the country which is not a part of the En, but in much more powerful than any other En. In fact, the dragon country is more powerful than all the En put together. The power of dragons is that high, and in case that they decide to invade the En, there would be no stopping them. Why did he left the summoning land? Guild asked. Before Yamato could respond, Kaido's voice was heard. Because I wasn't happy with the fact that our clan, which previously had no connections to human, suddenly decided to create a summoning contract and pretty much tie themselves to the Uzumaki clan. Sasuke's, Kakashi's and male Yamato's eyes widened at that information. I was against this, but the leader of our clan saw the members of the Uzumaki clan as the people who are worthy of our power and decided to allow them to summon us. I was enraged by this. For us, the almighty dragons to be controlled by humans, it's inconceivable. I wasn't the only one who thought like this. There were others, and one day, we decided to leave, and create our own land. Why didn't you try to take out the leader of that clan of yours? Sasuke asked. If you've done that, there would be no need to leave your homeland. Kaido growled, and for a moment, everyone thought that it was a wrong question that Sasuke asked, and that they are all going to be killed. A minute later, Kaido huffed and said, "We didn't do that because we couldn't win. We were strong, but the other side was stronger, and even with few of the dragon gods on our side, we would have still lost, as they had more dragon gods, and the Great Red, our leader, was on that side. There was no chance of winning, so we left. To us, it was better than to serve humans." Kaido growled again. He didn't like being reminded of the past, and now that he was reminded, he got even angrier. "Forget about all that, as it's not important," Kaido said. "What is important, is that I'm taking Yamato back with me, and if any of you decided to interfere, then I will slaughter you all." "I'm not coming with you," Yamato yelled. "I have finally gained my freedom, and I will fight for it, if it's the last thing I ever do." Kaido glared at his daughter, before he growled. "Know this, Yamato," Kaido spoke. "If you continue to defy me, it will truly be the last thing you ever did." Yamato, though, didn't budge, and was ready to battle. "Anything, even death is better than going back to that place. If that is your decision," Kaido roared, before he opened his mouth wide, and formed a ball of fire in it. Yamato's eyes widened at the attack, before she yelled, "Move!" She jumped toward Kaido, while her companions run away from the attack. Kakashi and Yamato also run away, as they knew that this is bad news. Kaido fired a very powerful beam of fire, which made Kakashi and Sasuke, as the only ones there who have seen a tailed beast bomb, think that this attack is quite a bit more powerful and destructive than anything 8 tails and 9 tails could fire. Yamato jumped toward the incoming attack, much to the shock of her companions and all the others, before she swung her kanabo, which was producing black lightning all over it, and hit Kaido's fire attack. She was able to stop the attack for a few moments, before in the end, she was even able to send it back at a surprised Kaido, who was hit in the face by his own attack. Yamato landed back down on the ground, and glared at where his father was in his dragon form. The power of his own attack was great enough to push him backwards a little, and land on the ground, destroying a large part of the forest, but it was not powerful enough to even put a scratch on his tough scales. This was proven right, when he quickly came back up, and roared. Demolishing wind. Kaido roared, and blew from his mouth, creating powerful, crescent wind blades, which went all over the place, cutting everything in their path, from the ground, to the trees, and even the people. Kakashi and the others were all cut up, even with all of them defending themselves all best as they could. The only one not hurt, was Yamato, who was using her kanabo, infused with black lightning, to deflect all the wind blades, which were coming at her. Black Thunder Arrow. Yamato yelled, before she swung her kanabo, and fired a huge arrow made out of black lightning. The arrow traveled at Kaido at blinding speed, before it hit him on his upper body, several meters below the face. Kaido roared in pain, as the electricity from the lighting attack was surrounding his body, paralyzing him for a few moments. Yamato didn't stop there though. She knew that this is nothing for Kaido and that he would be back up in a few seconds, so she attacked again. Ringing Turnip. Yamato swung her kanabo upward, created an energy projectile, which hit Kaido below the chin, and pushed his head backwards with great force. This attack could have killed almost anyone, but as a dragon, Kaido is much tougher, and his neck won't break that easily. Nevertheless, Yamato jumped at Kaido once again, and while holding her kanabo with both hands, she imbued it with black lightning, before she swung it horizontally, and with both hands. Divine Step White Snake Dash. The attack sent Kaido back on the ground, where his snake-like body lied down on the destroyed ground and trees. Yamato came back to the ground as well, and started panting from the use of the attacks, in which she had to put a lot of power in order for them to work even a little. She would like to think that those attacks have defeated Kaido, but she knew better. She knew that it will take much more than that to defeat her father, and she knew that she will not be able to win this by herself. She looked at her three companions, who have moved away from the battle, and were now looking at her with shocked looks on their faces. Yamato has joined them because she knows that they will be able to help her fight her father or anyone he decides to send after her. She knows that the three of them are powerful and if all of them take on Kaido, then they might stand a chance, but now when she is looking at their faces, she can see that even though they are trying to hide it, Kid, Guild and Sasuke are scared. Yamato can't really blame them. The most any of them have ever faced against might have been a tailed beast, but her father is stronger than the tailed beast, and thus, much more dangerous and harder to defeat. As such, their fear is not surprising. Unfortunately for Yamato, she knew that her companions will be all but useless in their state. They are afraid, and slightly hurt. She can see that they wouldn't want to interfere in the battle to help her, as it's not their business. Yamato knew right then and there that they have decided to take her father's offer and stay out of their problems, thus, leaving Yamato alone. XXX. Naruto watched the battle between Kaido and Yamato with wide smile on his face. This was one of the best fights he has seen since he came back in this world, and as such, interests him very much. On top of that, he is also interested in the power of the dragons, because so far, he hasn't actually seen any dragon fight, even though he has seen the Great Red and now Kaido, and can tell that they are powerful, he hasn't seen their battle powers, and is interested. What is also interesting to Naruto, is that dragons seem to be very tough to defeat, and have strong scales. This was proven by Kaido, who rose back up as if nothing happened to him, even after everything Yamato threw at him. To normal people, this would be a surprise, but Naruto was kind of expecting that the dragon's scales would be hard to pass by. If their scales weren't tough, then the dragons wouldn't be as powerful as they were, even with all the attack power they have. The defense is as needed as the attack in order to be invincible, and in Naruto's case that is a complete truth. It's his Hyro and regeneration powers, which makes him invincible, and not his attack power. Naruto watched, as Kaido rose back up, and attacked Yamato, who gave it her all, but is unable to do more than land a few hits, which did nothing but stun Kaido for a few seconds. Naruto watched as Kaido gave Yamato one last chance to rejoin him and return to their country, but she refused. Naruto knew that by refusing, Yamato has signed her death warrant, but he didn't want her to die, as he found her to be very interesting, with interesting powers. Not to mention, extremely beautiful. As such, as Yamato was kneeling on the ground, her kanabo few meters from her, and Kaido about to fire his breath attack, Naruto decided to stop this. XXX. I gave you a chance, Yamato, Kaido spoke, and you refused it. Now, it's time to pay for your insubordination. Another orb of flames appeared in Kaido's mouth, and he fired an even more powerful blast breath than the one he fired at the start of the battle. This time though, it's not only more powerful than before, but now, Yamato is incapable of defending, which means that she is done for. This is it, Yamato thought as she closed her eyes and resigned to her fate. I couldn't do anything against him. All the training I did, all the preparations to escape from that country, and it was all for nothing. Yamato sighed, and waited for the inevitable attack to hit here and kill her. She knew that she can't escape, nor will one of her 3 companions save her. And I joined them just to be safer. It might have been better to join some village, instead of those 3. They don't care about anything except themselves and battling. In the village, I might have actually found some true allies. Yamato felt the heat of the attack increase, which meant that the attack is just about to hit her, but, just before she was to get killed, a person appeared in front of Yamato, not that she could see him with closed eyes, and the person deflected Kaido's attack back toward the sky, with his bare hands. He has literally bitch slapped the attack, much to the shock of Kaido and the others who were there to witness what happened. Sorry, a voice said, which surprised Yamato, as she wasn't expecting to hear anything, only to feel pain before she died. But I can't let you kill her. Yamato was surprised that someone has saved her. The question is, who that is, as the voice doesn't sound as one of her companions, or the 2 leaf ninja who they were battling against. This was a new voice, a voice which had power behind it, power, which Yamato shivered under, even though she couldn't exactly feel it. She knew that there is something there, and is very powerful. But is it powerful enough to defeat Kaido? She will have to wait and see. But first, Yamato opened her eyes, and looked at the person who was standing in front of her. The moment her eyes landed on the man in front of her, Yamato's eyes widened at how hot the guy was. He looked like gods themselves made him to be the most beautiful man in the world, and in that instant, Yamato suddenly felt very hot just by being in his presence. Another thing that Yamato noticed, though barely, as her mind was stuck on how hot he is that he radiates power unlike she has ever seen. His mere presence is overwhelming her even more than Kaido is when he is using his full power, which he didn't come even close to using in their battle just minutes ago. Before Yamato can think more on the man in front of her, she heard Kaido's voice. Who are you? Kaido asked, while glaring at Naruto from high in the air. You can't be normal if you were able to deflect my attack with your bare hands. Yamato's eyes widened comically at this, as she didn't see that part, and she thought that the guy has used some power or something to stop Kaido's attack. She didn't even dream that there would be someone who can deflect blast breath with bare hands. My name, Naruto spoke, is Alessandro Stark. And I'm a hollow god. Everyone's eyes widened, including those of the ninja from the leaf, as well as Sasuke and his companions, though for 2 different reasons. Kakashi's, male Yamato's and Sasuke's eyes widened, because they knew of this guy from a while ago. He was infamous and there was a time when Danzo thought of asking him to join the village. But, he is also the guy who Seraphal told Kakashi and Sasuke, that he is the one who saved them from Deodara's attack while in the Land of Rivers. Female Yamato, Kaido, as well as Kid and Guild, also had their eyes widened, but in their case, that's because the guy just proclaimed himself to be a god. Now, while they would have usually laughed when someone said something like that, the guy did just bitch slap one of Kaido's more powerful attacks, and didn't even have a scratch on him. As such, they must at least consider that he is telling the truth, as ridiculous as it sounds. Of course, none of them knew what a hollow it, as they have never heard that term before. What do you want? Kaido asked. Actually, why did you interfere in this battle? This is between my daughter and me. No outsider should interfere. Naruto shrugged. I've been here since before you showed up, Naruto admitted, surprising everyone there. I've been watching the battle between the Leaf Ninja and the other guys, and while she didn't fight, I was very interested in your daughter. She has power, and I want her on my side. Then, you showed up, and imagine my surprise when I hear that the dragon left their summoning land and created his own country, along with other dragons. But then I was even more surprised when I learned that you can do transformation jutsu and transform into human, and on top of that, have intercourse with other humans and have children like that. My interest in Yamato only increased from there. To have a human-dragon hybrid on my side, would be very beneficial for me. Wouldn't you agree? You are an interesting human, Kaido said with narrowed eyes. But what makes you think that I will allow Yamato to come with you? She is my daughter and as such, must do what I tell her to do. She will stay in my country, or she will die. It's that simple. So what makes you think that you will have any chance to get her on your side, even if she wanted to join you? Well, Naruto spoke, while wearing a crazy smile on his face, unnerving everyone, including Kaido, though he didn't know why. I can just kill you and take her with me. There was a complete silence which followed that proclamation. No one could believe what Naruto has said. No one could believe that he would just threaten a dragon, who is more powerful than even the Nine Tails. After a minute, Kaido stated to laugh, really hard. The others were silent though. They didn't dare say anything, as they didn't want to attract Kaido's attention. It took a while, but Kaido stopped laughing, and glared at Naruto. I don't know who you are, he spoke. And what you said is so stupid that it's not even funny, yet I couldn't stop myself from laughing at your stupidity. You obviously have no idea who I am and how powerful I am. As such, I will let this threat of yours slide, and let you walk away. But if you continue to push the issue, then I will kill you, and I'm not joking or over-exaggerating like you are. I'm not over-exaggerating, Naruto spoke. I don't need to do that. And if you think that you will be able to defeat me because you have an overwhelming power, while I apparently have nothing, then you are very wrong to think that. I am much more powerful than you can even comprehend. As soon as he said that, Naruto glowed for a moment, and then the catastrophe started, because coincidentally, at the same moment, both Naruto and Cieloporo powered up to their maximum level. Their power was released in a form of a black and white beam of energy which shot toward the sky, and started the earthquake which was felt around all the En. The sky over the En was covered in black clouds, with lightning and thunder dancing over them. A heavy rain unlike any seen before, is now falling across the En. The ground was shaking and cracking from the influence of Naruto's and Cieloporo's power. Those who were at that moment close to Naruto and Cieloporo were blown away far from them, because of the shockwaves, which spread for miles destroying everything in their path, changing the landscape. While the ones closest to them were affected by the shockwaves, the rest of the En were in about as big trouble as those close to Naruto and Cieloporo. The earthquake and the constant raining of lightning was destroying everything, and people are either injured at best, or dying at worst, because of the cataclysm. Naruto alone is powerful enough to cause this much damage to the En, but the fact that his blood clones are as powerful as he is, and that one of his blood clones has released all of his powers at the same time as Naruto, means that if there is anything left of the En by the time they are done, it would be a miracle. While Yamato and the others were blown away far from Naruto and Kaido, Kaido was still floating in the sky and looking at the cataclysm around him. He could not believe what he was seeing. A minute ago, he couldn't feel anything from Naruto, but now, in an instant, his power has grown so much, that he has surpassed the Great Red, something Kaido never though he will see, as he knew perfectly well how powerful the Great Red is, and what he can do. Even then, the Great Red is nothing compared to Naruto, and in that moment, Kaido realized that Naruto was not messing around when he said that he is a god and that he can kill him. XXX. At the edge of the rain village, Cieloporo was floating in the air, surrounded by black and white energy which is hiding him from everyone's sight. Not far from him, another Cieloporo was also floating in the air, but this one is just a shadow clone, and he is holding in his arms an unconscious Konan. Far from them both, Sako was standing behind some trees, and trying to hold herself onto the ground and not fly away from the shockwaves produced by Cieloporo's power. Sako has known that Naruto is strong, but she had no idea he is that strong. His power is immense, and is destroying everything in its path. She can also sense that besides Cieloporo, the real Naruto has also released his full power, and not that far away from where she currently is. She guessed that it has something to do with the big power she has felt earlier come out of nowhere. Sako wondered who is Naruto battling to force him to use his full power, then again, maybe he is just showing off, like Cieloporo is, as there was no reason for Cieloporo to release his true power for someone like Tobi. Tobi though, he is scared as shit. He is looking at Cieloporo and the destruction around him, with one visible eye wide open in disbelief. He, just like Sako, has never seen a power like this before in his life. This goes beyond anything he thought possible, and he is pretty sure that even the 10 Tails and the Sage of the 6 Paths were nowhere near as powerful as the pink-haired god. This is impossible, Tobi said in disbelief. Where did this guy come from? Who is he anyway? What is he? Tobi, just like Sako, could also feel that Cieloporo is not the only one who is releasing his power, and can see in the distance another pillar of energy being released into the sky. Tobi wondered if there will be anything left of the En after this is over. He also thought that he must get away from there as soon as possible, but he must make sure to get Nagato's corpse, so he can get Rinnegan. XXX. All around the En, destruction is happening at that moment. The various villages and towns are being destroyed by the earthquakes and the lightning, which was raining down, killing everyone it strikes and destroying everything in its path. In the hidden villages around the EN, the civilians are trying to find some shelter, but even when they hide from the lightning, they can't hide from the earthquake which is destroying the ground and opening trenches and craters. While the civilians are defenseless, the ninja are in a little better situations, as they can defend themselves and save themselves in case they are about to be hit by a lightning or fall into one of the trenches of craters. Even then, many have been injured and some have even died. While they are running and trying to defend themselves, the ninja are also trying to find out what is happening and what's causing this calamity. They were unsuccessful, because even though they can see two black and white pillars rising to the sky, from all the places in the EN, they have no way to get there and see what's causing it. They would die long before they even get anywhere close to the location of the two battles. XXX. While all of the EN are suffering, the people of the new whirlpool are looking at the two pillars in the distance with wide eyes. They have never seen anything like that before, and they doubt that they ever will again. The reason they are watching everything so calmly is because of the seals which were placed around the entire island. They are the seals specifically made by Naruto, so that in case he ever goes overboard, the new whirlpool will be unaffected, unlike the rest of the EN. As such, the people in the new whirlpool are safe. That doesn't mean, though, that they are all happy about what's going on. What the hell are those morons doing? Tayuya yelled, while looking at the two pillars. She, along with those closest to Naruto, knew what's going on, and who is causing it. And while Tayuya is angry at the two of them for what they are doing, many others are wondering, what has caused Naruto and Sailor to release their full power so close to each other and at the same time. I swear, I'm going to cut off the balls for this when they get back. Have they lost their minds? Several people in the new whirlpool are stunned by the power Naruto has. They have never before seen or felt anything like that, and many of them have seen some very powerful people. Two of those who are stunned because of Naruto's power are standing next to each other and looking at the two pillars of light in the distance. I can't believe how much power he has, the female spoke. He is actually stronger than you are, which I thought would never be possible for any regular human to reach that level of power. The man looked at the pillars with narrowed eyes. He is just as surprised as his wife. He is not a regular human, and as such, his powers are not normal. In all his long life, he has never seen someone as powerful as Naruto, and he has actually been around since before Kaguya rose to power. You are right, the man spoke. Naruto is not normal. Not even close. He is probably on the level of the Otsutsuki god. The woman hasn't heard about the Otsutsuki god before, so she was really surprised by it being mentioned like this. Yes, she has heard of the Otsutsuki clan, Kaguya and her sons, but never of the Otsutsuki god, and it made her wonder, how powerful is it? So you think he will attract the attention of the Otsutsuki clan? The woman asked. Most definitely, will, the man replied. The question is, will they try to do something against him, or will they simply leave him alone? Mind you, that if they decide to leave him alone, that would mean that they will have to give up on this world as well. I have a feeling that, as long as Naruto is here in this world, the Otsutsuki clan will not make a move. Didn't your presence here stop them from making a move already? The woman asked. Why didn't they leave by now, if they couldn't attack because of you? I'm powerful, the man said. But I can't take on that clan by myself. Individually, I'm stronger than any other member of that clan, but I'm one man, and there are many of them. I can't defeat them all. The only reason they didn't attack so far is because they are most likely making preparations to face me, and lose as less clan members as possible. Now though, with Naruto here, the things have changed. He really is stronger than the entire Otsutsuki clan, and even the god might lose, so the chances are high that they will leave for some other world. I hope they won't attack, the woman said. From what you told me of them, they are all but parasites, who drain the life from the world, and then move on. She then looked at the man next to her, and added, sorry, but it's the truth. No need to apologize, he said. I may have been born into that clan, but I have long since stopped being a Otsutsuki. Now, I'm just a simply earthling and a member of the Uzumaki clan by marriage. The woman smiled, and then hugged her husband, while watching as the two pillars of destruction are coming down. The man and the woman were Simon and Fuka. XXX. As the pillars of energy were coming down, so is the destruction all around the EN. Naruto and Sailor have stopped powering up, which is why the situation is calming down, but that doesn't mean that everything is over. No, it means that the fight is just about to start, and someone is most definitely going to die. The question is, who? That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.